Let me ask you something very honest. If you look at your bank account right now, is it where you imagined it would be 5 years ago? 10 years ago? If the answer is no, I want you to understand something important. It is probably not because you did not work hard enough. It is not because you were unlucky. And it is definitely not because you were not smart enough. It is because of habits, invisible habits, habits so common, so normal looking that most people never even question them. Warren Buffett, a man who has studied wealth and poverty for more than 80 years, has spoken repeatedly about exactly these kinds of habits. He has watched brilliant, hardworking people struggle financially their entire lives. And he has identified the same mistakes being made over and over by millions of people who never understood what was holding them back. Today, we are going to expose 5 of those mistakes. Not in a vague motivational poster kind of way. We are going deep, real examples, real numbers, real strategies you can start applying today. Stay until mistake number 5, because that one alone has cost ordinary people crores of rupees over their lifetimes, and almost nobody talks about it the way Buffett does. Let's get into it. Puss mistake 1, spending before you save and invest. This is the foundation mistake. Everything else builds on this one. And it is so deeply embedded in how most people think about money that most people do not even realize they are doing it wrong. Here is how 95% of people manage their money. They earn money. They pay rent or EMI, they buy groceries, they pay their phone bill, they spend on entertainment, clothes, eating out, they pay off their credit card. And then at the end of the month, whatever is left over, if anything, they call it savings. Warren Buffett calls this the backwards approach. And he is absolutely right. From the time Buffett was a child, a literal child, 10 or 11 years old, he practiced the opposite. Every single rupee that came in, he separated a portion immediately, before spending, before bills, before anything. That portion was non-negotiable. It was not available for spending. It went directly toward building his future. He calls this principle pay yourself first, and it sounds simple, but the implications are enormous. Let me give you a real number example so you can feel the difference. Imagine 2 people, both earners $50,000 per month. Person A spends first, ends the month with ours $2,000 saved, maybe nothing. Person B saves first, puts ours $7,500, 15s into investments on day 1, lives on ours $4,285. In 1 year, person A has maybe ours $24,000 saved. Person B has ours $90,000 invested, growing. Over 10 years at a 12% annual return, person B's consistent investment of $700 per month becomes approximately 17 lakh. Person A, saving irregularly, might have 2-3 lakh if lucky. Same income, completely different result. The only difference is the order in which the money was used. Buffett's advice: the moment your salary arrives, transfer your savings amount first. Treat it exactly like a bill that must be paid, because it is. It is a bill you owe to your future self. Start at 10%. If that feels difficult, start at 5%, but start. And increase it every time your income increases. Never let your savings percentage go down. Mistake 2, lifestyle inflation, the silent wealth killer. This mistake is more dangerous than the first one because it feels like success. It looks like success. Everyone around you encourages it. And it quietly destroys the financial future of almost everyone who gets a raise, a promotion, or any increase in income. It is called lifestyle inflation, and here is exactly how it works. You are earning $40,000 a month. You are managing. Then you get promoted. Now you earn $60,000. Suddenly, you move to a bigger apartment. You buy a newer phone. You start eating at better restaurants. You upgrade your wardrobe. You take a vacation you could not afford before. Your expenses expand to match your new income within months. 2 years later, you are earning 50% more, and somehow you are still living paycheck to paycheck. How? Because your spending grew at exactly the same rate as your income. Warren Buffett has spoken about this pattern extensively. He watched it happen to colleagues, to friends, to people who had every opportunity to build serious wealth, but chose to spend every raise instead of investing it. Buffett himself is the most famous example of resisting lifestyle inflation. He still lives in the same house he bought in Omaha, Nebraska in 1958 for $31,500. His net worth is over $130 billion. He could buy a palace on every continent. But his house is the same house it was when he was a young, unknown investor with a small fund and a handful of clients. Why? Because Buffett understands something most people never will. The true cost of spending is not just what you pay today. It is what that money would have become if you had invested it instead. This is a concept called the opportunity cost of spending. Every rupee you spend on upgrading your lifestyle is a rupee that will not compound for you over the next 20 or 30 years. Let us put real numbers to this. You get ours $15,000 raised per month. You have 2 choices. Spend it all on lifestyle upgrades or invest ours $1,000 and spend ours $5,000 on yourself as a reward. If you invest ours $10,000 per month for 25 years at 12% returns, that money becomes approximately ours 1.9 crore. That is what lifestyle inflation costs you, not ours $10,000 per month. Ours 1.9 crore over your working life. The solution is simple in concept, hard in practice. Every time your income increases, increase your investment percentage first. Give yourself a small lifestyle reward, maybe 20% of the raise, but direct the rest toward your future. Live like you did before the raise, just for 1 more year, then another year. The gap between your income and your spending, that gap is where wealth is created. Do mistake 3, treating savings account as wealth. This one is going to make some people uncomfortable because they have been told their whole lives that saving money in a bank is responsible. It is prudent. It is safe. And they are right, it is safe. But safe is not the same as smart. And Buffett has been very direct about this. Here is the problem with a savings account: inflation. Inflation is the rate at which prices rise over time. In Pakistan and many developing countries, inflation regularly runs between 8% and 25% per year. Your bank savings account might offer you 4% to 8% interest if you are lucky. Do the math. If inflation is 15% and your bank gives you 6%, your money is losing 9% of its purchasing power every single year. It sits there looking fine. The number in your account might even be growing. But what that money can actually buy is shrinking year by year. Buffett has been clear: cash is the worst long-term investment you can hold. Not because it disappears, but because inflation silently destroys its value while you think it is safe. He calls it a melting ice cube. You can hold it tight, you can protect it. But time works against you. Every year it loses more of what it is worth. Now, this does not mean you should have no cash. Absolutely keep 3 to 6 months of expenses in a liquid, accessible account as an emergency fund. That is essential. That is non-negotiable. But beyond your emergency fund, every rupee sitting idle in a savings account is working against you. It needs to be deployed into something that grows faster than inflation. Buffett's favorite recommendation for ordinary investors, people who are not finance professionals, is index funds, specifically low-cost funds that track the overall stock market. He has said publicly and repeatedly that if he had to give one piece of investment advice to someone who is not a professional investor, it would be: buy a low-cost index fund consistently, month after month for decades. Historical data consistently shows that a broad market index fund has returned 10 to 15% annually over long periods of time, far above inflation. You do not need to pick individual stocks. You do not need to read financial reports. You buy the entire market and let it grow. Start with whatever you have. Ours $500 a month, ours $1,000. The amount matters less than the consistency and the starting point. Mistake 4, neglecting investment in yourself. This might be the most overlooked mistake of all 5. Because when people think about investing, they think about stocks, property, gold, mutual funds. Very few people think about investing in themselves as a financial strategy. But Warren Buffett does. In fact, he calls it the single best investment a human being can make. He has said the best investment you can make is in yourself. Your talent cannot be taxed. It cannot be inflated away. It cannot be taken from you. Think about those words for a moment. Every other asset you own can be taxed. It can be devalued by inflation. Markets can crash. Property can lose value. But your skills, your genuine developed abilities, are yours forever. They keep paying dividends for life. Buffett himself is the proof of this. As a young man, he was terrified of public speaking. He knew it was holding him back, so he signed up for a Dale Carnegie public speaking course. He paid for it himself. He was a student who had very little money at the time. He says that course changed his life more than almost anything else he ever did. It gave him the ability to communicate his ideas clearly and persuasively, and that ability was fundamental to building Berkshire Hathaway, attracting the right partners, and eventually reaching the level of influence he has today. He still has that Dale Carnegie certificate hanging on the wall of his office. Not his Harvard degree, not any financial award, the public speaking certificate. Now think about your own situation. What skill, if developed over the next 12 months, would have the biggest impact on your earning power? Maybe it is English communication. Maybe it is digital marketing, coding, data analysis, sales, writing, financial literacy. Maybe it is a professional certification in your field. The return on investment in skills is often 10x, 50x, even 100x. Ours 10,000 course that helps you earn ours 1 lakh more per year gives you 1,000% return. No stock, no real estate investment has given that return on a consistent basis. And here is the other dimension: reading. Buffett reads 500 to 1,000 pages per day. He spends the majority of his working hours just reading books, annual reports, newspapers, research. He calls reading compound interest for the mind. Every new piece of knowledge connects to something you already know, building richer, more sophisticated understanding over time. Most people stop actively learning the moment they leave school. They enter the workforce, learn their job, and then coast for decades. And then they wonder why their income plateaued, why they got passed over for promotions, why newer, younger colleagues are earning more. The people who never stop learning, who treat every year as a year to grow their knowledge and skills, are the people whose incomes keep climbing, whose opportunities keep expanding, and whose financial futures keep improving. Mistake 5, waiting for the right time to start. Now we come to mistake number 5, the one I promised to save for last. The one that has cost more people more money than all the other 4 mistakes combined: waiting. I'll start investing when I have more money. I'll start once my debts are cleared. I'll start next year when things settle down. I need to understand it better before I begin. These sound reasonable. They sound responsible even. But they are the most financially destructive words most people ever say, because every month of delay has a price tag. And that price tag gets bigger with every passing year. Let me give you the numbers that should make this very real for you. Imagine 3 people, Ahmed, Sarah, and Bilal. All 3 want to invest ours $5,000 per month at a 12% annual return. Ahmed starts at age 25. By age 60, he has approximately 0.76 crore. Sarah starts at age 30. Same amount, same return. By age 60, she has approximately 97 lakhs. Bilal starts at age 35. Same amount, same return. By age 60, he has approximately 53 lakhs. Ahmed invested for 10 more years than Bilal, but ended up with 1.23 crore more. The 10 years of delay cost Bilal over 1 crore rupees, not because he invested less money, not because the market treated him differently, simply because he waited. This is the power of compound interest and the devastating cost of delay. Buffett has said something that captures this perfectly. Someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. The shade does not appear overnight. The tree must be planted early, and then time does the rest. The perfect moment to start investing will never arrive. There will always be a reason to wait: debt, uncertainty, a feeling that you do not know enough yet, a fear that the market is at the wrong level. These feelings never fully go away. The only answer is to begin imperfectly with whatever small amount you have right now. Ours thousands a month, ours 500s a month. It does not matter. The habit, the consistency, the compounding effect of time, these matter far more than the initial amount. Start today, not tomorrow, not next month, today. Even if it feels too small to matter, it is not too small. Time will prove that. 5 mistakes. 5 invisible patterns that separate people who build real wealth from people who work hard their entire lives and never seem to get ahead. Spending before saving, lifestyle inflation, keeping money idle in savings accounts, neglecting self-investment, and the most costly of all, waiting too long to begin. None of these require you to be born rich. None of them require a special education or a high-paying job. They require a decision, a shift in how you see and use money, and then the discipline to follow through month after month, year after year. Buffett built his fortune not through genius alone, but through consistent, patient habits applied over 7 decades. You have the same 24 hours he does. You have access to the same markets, the same index funds, the same knowledge. What will you do with it? If this video gave you even one idea you are going to act on, please hit the like button. Share it with someone who you think needs to hear this. And subscribe, because we break down financial wisdom like this every single week. See you in the next one.